The following is a special presentation of Pirate Flag Radio. Find us at pirateflagradio.com.
Stole my line.
Shut up. You always get to do it. Enjoy the show. You want to say something?
Something.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing left inside but me. No more anger for me. Nothing left inside me but go. Breaking back walls down, slide to the inside, license away. Nothing left to say because I slide back down inside my head. Nothing left but anger now. Nothing left but pain. Nothing left inside of this time. No more anger for me. Nothing left inside me but no more anger for me. Nothing left inside me but nothing left. Nothing left. Nothing left but anger now. Nothing left but pain. Nothing left inside of this head. Why? Me, motherfucker, bring down the gun. No more anger for me. Nothing left inside me but no more anger for me. Nothing left inside me but no more anger for me. There's nothing left inside me but no more anger for me. There's nothing left inside me but that's not fake. Nothing left. Nothing left inside the fucking head. The mind is killing time. Nothing left inside the number. My mind is killing time.
And we're back like that annoying coworker you knew quit, and then they came back to the barbecue. It's Raiding the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox. I am but one half of your handsome, humble, heavyweight co-host duo. They call me the Lunchbox. That's one word, capital L, capital B. Thank you very much. And I am joined, as always, by my brother. He is the Central Valley's favorite son. He is the godfather of Modesto Metal and Pirate Flag Radio, pirateflagradio.com for all your listening needs. And he is, of course, number 69 in your programs, but he is number 1 in your hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, my tag team partner in this team we call the Brothers Michael David. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael David sucks Vanek.
Thank you, sir.
Know it.
And it was number 79 in your program.
Yeah, but if we say 69, everybody out there listening on Pirate Flag Radio or live on Facebook and YouTube could say nice.
Nice. What's up, kids? My name is Mike Vanek, and I do suck. You may call me El Rocho.
Why are you El Rocho again now?
Just
Was that a
something-
Moose Roberts thing?
No, it's something from Turlock a long time ago. I don't want to talk about. But anyways, welcome to Rating the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox. I am Mike Vanek, and I do suck. And this is one of my favorite things in the whole world to do, and I hope you enjoy it. Join us as we jump back into the Wayback Machine and play some of our favorite bands from back in the day. And I've made it a habit to ask my brother to go ahead and pick some of our favorite bands from back in the day, and he always does it. Excuse me. He always does a great job, and this time is no exception. But before we get into it, brother, how are things in Los Banos?
Man, I can't complain, dude. If I was any better, I would probably get arrested for this shit. Like, wife's good, kids good, everybody's healthy, job's kicking ass. I got word today that my brand new venue, Jungle Gym's Adventure Lanes, down on Pacheco Boulevard in Los Banos, has given me the green light. So September 8th, Sunday, you will see for the first time in Los Banos, Blacklist Pro Wrestling. And the 14th, I can't say too much because I don't have a lineup yet, but Stay in the Box presents the first metal show in Los Banos in many years. Brother, I'm so excited. Wife turns 29 or so again on Tuesday. And man, before I go any further, I just got to showcase this RPM IPA. This is the Boneyard beer from Bend, Oregon. Let it be known, Boneyard is more than a name. It's our history. We were built out of forgotten scraps from 13 different breweries. Our RPM IPA is a direct extension of these chop shop passions, bold and balanced. It's made for a cup for people who do things their own way, courtesy of my fellow bald brethren, Richie Urban. So let's see how it tastes.
Went down to Elder Brew earlier and has a really good lager. Can't remember what it's called, but the sign says it's the beer from Jaws. So
it's the beer from Jaws. I like how they put that.
Yeah. Shout out to my fucking homies at Elder Brew, downtown Bristol, Tennessee. So going back to your show, first of all, go ahead and put a Pirate Flag Radio logo on that flyer because we're going to promote the shit out of it, and I'm going to sponsor the shit out of the shows. And dude, I'm really happy that you're getting back into the promoting game. I wish I could do the same myself. So let's get into it, man. You want to go first to last or last to first?
You know, if we would have went straight from Built, I would have went last to first. But let's go ahead and go first to last, just because that would have been dope to see it do things. It would have been cool to see that go off with no intro. But
so the first band we have tonight is a first ballot Hall of Fame. This band is, although they had a short run, short in our scene standards, but this is still to this day one of the greatest bands I've ever seen in my life.
Ever.
Tell me about Epidemia.
Man, you know, they were something special, man. I mean, the first thing that's going to stick out to everybody is it's all in Spanish. So this was
nothing wrong with that.
No, but it definitely is a different thing. You know, a lot of people don't realize how big metal is in Mexico.
Right.
You know, or even anywhere not the U.S. Like, people don't realize that outside of the United States, metal is king. Undisputed. undefeated. You know, you see a band like, say, Trivium, for example, here in the States, they're lucky to sell out a 2,000-seat venue.
Yeah.
You see Trivium at Vakken, and there's a million people literally bouncing up and down singing every fucking lyric.
Real quick before we go on, I want to send a special shout out to friend of the show and a good friend of both of ours, Mr. Nick Souza, who is at Vakken right fucking now playing drums for Violence. God bless him for it.
God bless him for it. Sick news, man.
Shout out to homie Caton from Hyrax. Hyrax is also playing at Vakken this year. Two really good bands.
Warsoul was this close.
Yeah.
Dude, close. Do you think Scotty McRib would have ever came home?
No. He'd stay in Germany. But anyways,
he went to Europe.
Sick News is a good friend of ours. And I'm really happy that he got the opportunity to not only did he play to Disneyland with Body Count, went to Europe and played a couple festivals, and now he's playing fucking probably the biggest metal festival in the world, dog. And you know, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Definitely, man. You know, the thing about it is I've heard people mention that, oh, well, you know, Patriot, you know, they were lucky that fucking, you know, they're all Zetro's kids. And you're right, 100%. Now, that being said, it was what they did with those connections, what they did growing up in that lifestyle. They did business
for everything they ever got.
Right. Just because they grew up knowing how to play the game isn't a bad thing.
Right.
That's a damn good thing. And they took all that knowledge and all that life they grew up in, and they are just marching towards superstardom, man. Couldn't be happier for all the guys in Hatriot. You know what I mean? Like, but to see Nick get this opportunity to go tour the world with Violence, what a cool thing.
Yeah. Real quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I interviewed him for the Mike Vanek Sucks podcast, which aired right here on Pirate Flag Radio a few weeks ago. And, you know, just like me and you do, there's a post-production, you know what I mean, conversation. And, man, I've known that kid since he was 15 years old. And
back when he was lying to you on MySpace.
Yeah. Hey, it's Zetro from Exodus. Can you book my kid's band? But anyways, you know, that kid has a head on his shoulders. Both of those Sousa's boys are fucking professional as it all gets. And knowing Zetro as I do, there is nobody I've ever met in the music business that has more business than Steve Zetro Sousa or Chuck Billy. And for those kids to grow up and then to have one of them play in a band, you know, they're real close with the guys from Violence. Their original drummer, Perry Strickland, is Uncle Perry to them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for him to get this opportunity, man, that's great. Let's get into our show, shall we?
We shall.
All right. I
dumped beer in my charging port.
Oh, that's smart.
No, I mean, well, I dumped it on. It fell onto the screen and then went into the charging port, so I got to let it dry out.
Okay.
Of the phone, we're good.
Cool. Well, my friend.
Wait, you didn't want me to actually talk about Epidemia?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Epidemia. By the way, you shouldn't be sharing your screen right now just yet. Like, Epidemia, man. All Spanish metal band out of Modesto. They were in that new metal era. So they utilized the DJ. Y'all may know him as Kirk from And All Was Lost, and most recently Sworn to the Black. Chongo, Daniel Higardia is out there with his new band October, busting up shit. Oh, dude, they're so good. They're so good. And they've taken that same theme of doing metal all in Spanish, but they're a lot more extreme than Epidemia. Of course, everybody's favorite Theo Pelon.
Shout out to Chongo, dude.
Dude, Chongo's my boy, dude. I love talking to that guy. I got to hear some of his non-metal stuff. And what a talented cat.
Yeah. He's from Mexico and moved here. Didn't speak any fucking Spanish, or didn't speak any English barely. And that band was fucking awesome.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
and the first major stage they got on was winning the Royal Rumble, which was we had an actual fucking boxing tournament
Mhm.
in Modesto, which was called the Royal Rumble, where they literally did brackets
Yeah.
where these bands would fucking put a member in there in like amateur boxing gear, headgear, and all that, and they literally fought for the chance to fucking be on this giant show that was headlined by Tommy Lee, supposed to be co-headlined by Drowning Pool, and then that was the week Dave Williams died. So we got Oleander instead, and
we got Tommy Lee instead. Oleander was
we got Oleander instead. Tommy Lee was always the headliner. I got in an argument with somebody about this the other day because that was when he put out that solo album.
I worked that show.
And yet somehow
the whole time.
And yet somehow you're still wrong.
I worked in downtown Modesto.
I know, and yet somehow you're still wrong because Tommy Lee was always the advertised headliner because even, I forget what his name was, the big heavyset guy that used to work for 96.7 came out in a granny dress and a granny wig and like said, hey, you know, we got the sad news about Dave Williams last week, blah, blah, blah. So we knew we still had to give you guys what was promised. So we called our boys from Sacramento, Oleander, and said, you want to come tear it up? And then Oleander came up there and kind of sucked. Let's be real. Non-Point stole that show.
Yeah, they did.
You know, but that being said, 3 locals got to be showcased. Makeshift Gray.
Yes.
Who was the other one besides who we're about to play?
Better Left Unfed.
They weren't around yet. That was that brief period where Brian Strait wasn't in a band.
No, he was in Broadside at that point, wasn't he?
No, it was like a week or two. Like it was like I said during that couple months, because Broadside would have showed up because Brian Strait would have came in there and outboxed everybody.
Yeah, he would have. Shit, dude. I don't know. For lack of trying, I'm gonna say. I don't remember.
Might have only been those 2.
I remember Epidemia playing at the
Lone Oak
Doubletree parking lot. The Red Lion parking lot. Clarion Inn, remember?
I was not there for that.
No, that hotel that we used to put shows on at.
Sure do.
So in the back, they had a fucking big band show. Days of the New. No, it was after they were Days of the New. They were something out that they were named.
Local Age, Epidemic. Oh wait, you're talking about the Clarion show, not Rockstock.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, to cap off this story, I'm working the show for Chris Ricky, and we go to get Tommy Lee from the airport. And we get Tommy Lee, and he gets in the Raider mobile. And he looks at me and says, I need cocaine now, or I'm not fucking playing. And Chris Ricky's like, well, you're going to have to go back home. Good thing we haven't left the airport yet. And I'm just like,
don't worry about it, Chris Ricky. I'll definitely. Like I said, you should write a book called "I Scored Drugs 4."
All right.
Like you know how JoJo's stories always end with, and then we couldn't go in there for a little while. Yours should always include the lines. So then I called my boy to see if he could get me insert illicit substance here.
One time,
this rock star couldn't go on stage without it.
Speaking
that
of
motherfucker snuck this into his rider.
Speaking of JoJo, allegedly, we may have gotten a illicit substance for a rock star. Let's just say they're in the band American Head Showers. And once he obtained said illicit substance, me and JoJo sat in front of his bus, watched him go up and sit at the table in his bus and start chopping that shit up.
Well, what did you expect him to do? Pocket it? Take it, save it for later? Give it to the Mormons?
I didn't expect him to go up there and do it in front of 100 fucking people sitting in front of his bus fucking watching.
He forgot to close the curtain, all right? Get off him.
All right, so
he had a mighty need.
One more thought about Epidemia. Where would you hold them in the ranking of the 209 metal bands?
Oh man, you always ask me to assign a number to these guys, to somebody. You
don't have to necessarily. It's just like, you know what, top 5, top 10.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't have to assign a number, and that's where I was going to go with that. I'd probably put them in the top 10, man. Straight up. Like, these guys, yeah, easily. Like, this band was something special. It sucked that their run literally lasted like all of 2 years. They were one of those bands that they just showed up, and they brought 300 people with them. Like,
dude, a couple of really good bands spawned out of that band, though. And All Was Lost.
And All Was Lost, eventually October, eventually Sworn to the Black, and anything else Pelon's been in. That was what sent him to sleep.
Los Punks del Norte was their bass player's band. And they were good. I booked them probably half a dozen times.
So, I mean, the thing about it, you're right. Like, all these guys went off, but together, man, they were something special. Like, Epidemia was one of a kind. And there's no denying that.
No.
So, anyway, now we're going to play their signature anthem. And you know what, Mike Vanek, just go ahead and get ready to cue it up. Because you got to say these words right here. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
This is Pueblo by Epidemia.
You should have shut up and just hit play.
Maybe I want to say something.
You did.
Pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Pensando en pie de guerra, solamente que los puños sientan. Solamente sin pelear estamos. Solamente con el pueblo armado. Queremos partir y liberarnos.
shit, man.
This is the little secret of adult film actors.
And that wasn't part of the song, but I do now want to know the secret of some of these adult film actors. Like, on either side, I feel like it could be beneficial. Either side.
I don't know what the fuck happened there on with the show. So that was El Pueblo by Epidemia on Raiding the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox. You're listening to WPFR Pirate Flag Radio.
So
All right.
circling back to Epidemia, like, you don't drudge up the memories. Like, you're asking me all these questions about Epidemia, and then we veer off into Hatred and, you know, wind up realizing we need to play the song, and we talk about them winning the Rumble, and we talk about them when they played that show at the Clarion you were talking about with Days of the New or whatever. What did Days of the New become after their Days of the New? I don't know. You just might know that. But so anyway, like, no, when you it never dawned on me until you mentioned it how short their run was. Like, I started to say earlier, like, they were just one of those bands that they showed up and they had 200-300 people there.
Didn't they play that show for you in Los Banos at the Art Center?
Yeah, and sadly, it was the less good one. Like, don't get me wrong, it was still a tremendous show, but the first one was so much bigger, you know. And when they played, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't everything I'd cracked it up to be. But I mean, they played that show for me. We go see him in Merced. You know, I remember talking to the singer Javier, and first, like, when Seep was just showing up, and he was like, "Yeah, these are our boys." I'm like, they ain't good. And Javier just looked at me and honestly said, "They're getting there. Like, they're getting there," and they got there. Yeah, you know, but you know, and once they ended, it was just so abrupt and so sudden. Like, all of a sudden, we heard they were working on a second album. They recorded a second album. Belon, if you showed up in the chat somewhere, you owe me that copy of that second album, bro. Like, we've talked about this. You offered to drive it to me. All right? Like, give my second Epidemia album. Anyway, and like, all of a sudden we hear that like Javier was going to flea markets and setting up Epidemia merch booths and not, you know, sharing the profits with the band. And I don't know how true any of that is. I really don't. But it was just one of those wild, like, what? Like, that, really? And all of a sudden, this band that we all thought was going to, like, become a worldwide phenomenon just ceased to exist.
Right. Well, I'm glad that we had our time with that band. So this next band, though.
Real quick, hang on. So, sweetheart, like, we have an off-camera guest.
Hi, Fugger.
We have a ghost guest. So, honey, you were around during the heyday of Epidemia, and that was when you were still very passionate about what was going on.
Okay.
Would you give them a top 10 slot in all-time Modesto music scene history?
10 maybe. For me.
Like, in the top 10?
Yeah, they're in there.
Okay.
I don't know where. They're in there.
That's what I said, too. Vanek, what about you?
Top 5.
You give them top 5?
Top 5. And this next band we're about to play is also in my top 5.
Of course it cuts out right then.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I may get... And Davey, go ahead and tell them about Differential.
Ah, yes.
This is the first time we've ever played them. Yeah, this is the first time we've ever played them on our program.
It was the first time we were able to find them. Like, there's the banner. Like, I wound up with Differential as a drummer for a cup of coffee, and I was their biggest super fan, straight up. Like, you may have their tattoo, but you didn't go see Differential if I didn't pick you up. You know, like, when they went out of town, like, where Differential went, Lunchbox and Jen were there. Dude, usually with Mike Vanek in tow.
When they played at Season Tickets in Turlock, bro, that was a fucking event.
Dude, the thing about this band, man, like, so picture this. I'm barely 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Barely 18 years old. Like, within a week, I throw my first show at a little building called the Dome, which was about a mile and a half that way. They tore it down about 2 years ago. And I had booked Makeshift Gray with another co-promoter from Turlock, Chris Walker, who ran season tickets. And I had asked for Makeshift Gray. And he was like, look, man, they don't fit your bill. I would like to offer you differential instead. And I was like, okay, cool. So it's my first show. We're going up against the winter ball. We think we're going to tank. Nope, we were wrong about that. Like, people were sneaking into the show, like not sneaking in, but they had their parents drop them off there to meet up with their date, supposedly, or whatever. And then they change out of their winter formal gear to get in their metal gear because they didn't tell their parents they were going to the metal show. And so, like, okay, so I have a full house. Thank God I was smart enough to have my boys work security and do a good job of it. We're running smooth, except differential ain't showed up. And so right when their slot's about to come up, they I get told, hey, differential's here. I walk out and there's Danny Martinez, Yasta himself, the godfather of this whole thing. Jamie Pearson, who was arguably the best, like, Rob Flynn style frontman, like the Modesto area has ever seen. And AC, their bass player, who's a great bass player, hell of a nice guy. Anyway, and they're like, hey, we're differential. And I'm like, cool, you're up next. And they look at each other and they're all, our drummer's not here. And I was like, cool, then you go last and you get 20 minutes. And I'm sorry. And they were just like, no, you'll still let us play? And I was like, yeah, like, of course. And there's like, right on. So after the second to last band, they walked up to me and are like, hey, our drummer's not going to make it. We're not going to be able to play. But we really appreciate you, keeping us on, blah, blah, blah. Can you give these demos and stickers out? No problem. So I did that. I took one home. I threw it in and was just blown away by these two songs. Sadly, neither of which we're playing tonight.
Right.
But
the one you picked was really good, though.
But then I get an email 2-3 days later from Danny Martinez saying, hey, man, we appreciate everything the other night. I'm going to confess, I've never even been to Los Banos. I didn't know where the fuck this was. And to walk in and see that wild of a crowd, that packed of a house, like, we want to come play for you. And therein started a relation. Like, they were on the season tickets, whatever Chris Walker's company's name, they had awards for Turlock before, the minor mamas. And they asked me to go accept for them. They'd never played a show for me. I just became friends with Danny and Jamie. And finally, we started working together. And like I said, Machine Head Jr. is the best. If Stockton produced a Machine Head, this was it.
Yeah. First time I ever heard Machine Head in my whole fucking life was in the backseat of Danny Martinez's car.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
So
over the years, I even wound up in this band, and that this isn't me drumming before we go there, but this was the era I wound up in. After Jamie left, Danny took over vocal duties, and it was never quite the same, but it was a very good, unique spin, and Danny got to realize his true vision because he wrote everything, lyrics, music, all of it. Mm-hmm. And so while Jamie was, in my opinion, a better frontman and a better singer, this was Danny's vision. And this album's damn good.
It is.
And I used to sing this song with him when on stage from time to time.
I think I did too.
I thought you only sang Desecrate.
Let's get to it, man. Something with them. Let's get to it, shall we?
This is Leech by Differential on Raiding the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox.
Wait. That's not the song you told me to pick.
Yeah, it is.
You told me Damaged Life, homie.
No, I didn't. The album's called Damaged Life. I said Leech. But it's cool. Go with that. Even better, because this is one of the songs on that demo then. This is Damaged Life, which is actually a very emotional song, which I'll explain after we listen to it. Differential, Pirate Flag Radio.
Damaged Life!
They did. New technology sucks.
Hey,
WPF.
dude, I would have just let my Lost play. Like, fuck it, 2-for-1 special.
We're stretching it for time. That was differential
Stretch you for
on
time.
rating the fucking stretch your face for time. That was Damaged Life, and I could have swore that was the song you told me to play, but we can play the
No,
other song.
like I said, the album title is Damaged Life.
It is. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. No, I said just go with Leech because it was the first one.
Okay.
But that's cool. Like you figured it out because the last time I suggested this, you were like, brother, I don't know how to deal with all that timestamp bullshit, brother. Like, brother, like that sucks, brother. Like, brother.
Hey man, I already work for 8 hours a day. I don't want to do no fucking work.
Well, last time you just scrapped the idea of doing that show and did my wrestling show instead.
Wrestling show fucking rules. By the way, you can hear Make the Call every Tuesday right here on WPFR Pirate Flag Radio. It's going to be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, or 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific.
So 5 p.m. Pacific, just in time for your workout or commute. You want, for your rush hour time coming home from work commute. Like, you want to hear, like, me and other people yell about wrestling? Well, there you go. Like, we're angry in traffic with you. We're all angry together. My wife acquiesced to that.
We should do another one of those soon. All right, so tell me about Sunday's Dilemma.
All righty. Once again, we always go back to picture this. 15 years old. I just finished putting on a backyard wrestling show. So we went to the local coffee shop that occasionally had local bands play. And they had a big New Year's show coming up. So we bought some coffees and some snacks. Chilled out. We're getting ready to leave, and these 5 dudes walk in. They're clearly musicians. And the owner comes up and is like, hey, you guys are going to the New Year's show, right? Yeah. Well, one of the bands dropped, and they're auditioning for their slot. Can you stay and tell me if you guys like them, if you want to see them? Oh, my God. They were so fucking awesome, dude. They played for an hour and a half to like 8 of us and acted like there was 1,000 of us. Like, just tremendous energy, tremendous musicianship. Punk rock, hard rock, post-hardcore is the term that a lot of people use. Like, whatever the fuck. This was the most versatile band the Central Valley ever produced. Straight up.
The next Deftones.
Even that's too much of a pigeonhole. But yeah, these guys played a lot with Papa Roach and Merced before Papa Roach broke big. I think these guys deserved it more, but I guess maybe it was better they didn't because now we got to hang out with them. So this is their anti-government song, which is appropriate right now because it's almost election season. This is Kick the Ball Down by Sunny D. PirateFlagRadio.com. Rating the Vault with Bang and Lunchbox.
Hell yeah.
Oh, my bad. I picked Elegantly Nowhere.
You sure
You're
did.
talking about getting drunk and calling your ex. Don't do that.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Funny story
Introducing
about that
Milo's Rewards, the new way to unlock savings from the palm of your hand.
song. And now sponsoring Rating the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox, Lowe's. Where I got my stove. Lowe's.
Still new with this shit.
So anyway, go ahead.
I am learning a new format that my brother taught me about, and I usually do this very differently, but I didn't want to upload a bunch of songs tonight, so this is what we're getting, and I apologize for the commercial announcements.
No. We gotta have a commercial. Maybe we can get them to give us some money. Like
Well,
just $8.
I'll do a commercial for you. Friends, neighbors, countrymen, lend me your ears for a second, because Van Dog is here to lay a wrap on you. Let me tell you about Pirate Flag Radio merchandise. You can get Pirate Flag Radio merchandise at tpublic.com. What can you get, you say? Well, friends, you can get t-shirts, hoodies, baseball tees, tank tops, stickers, buttons. You can get a pillow for your couch. You can get wall art. You can get a onesie for your baby. You can get a book bag with my logo on it. The point is, please support Pirate Flag Radio. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. We don't make no fucking money off this shit, but we just want you to spread the word of Pirate Flag Radio across the world. And
we want to see our logo on your titties. All right. It doesn't matter if you're a man, woman. If you want to throw one on your dog, that's cool too. Like, we want to see Pirate Flag Radio everywhere. Everywhere.
Just go to tpublic.com and search Pirate Flag Radio WPFR to get all your Pirate Flag Radio merchandise and be the cool kid on the block for once.
For once.
For once. All right. On with the show.
You're steering the ship. Like, are we cutting a song?
No, we're not cutting the song. We got 2 left.
Okay. Just making sure.
This next band, man, all these bands so far I've seen at the season tickets in Turlock. And this is another band that was really close. Will always have a soft spot in my heart. I was on their street team. I got my first laminate ever from this band.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, I was on their website and all that shit. It was while I lived in the Bay Area for a little while, and it was cool as fuck. I fucking had a good time. But anyways, Lux from Sacramento, California is the next band we're gonna play tonight. Tell me about Lux.
You know what? Once again, it always seems like we come back to this subject every time we do the show. There used to be a website back before the days of social media called powerslave.com. And for all the news on any band in NorCal, you went to Powerslave.
And all your scene drama in the fucking chat.
Yeah, but you know what? I stayed out of that. I was just downloading music. And this was the first time. Go ahead.
I was right in the middle of it.
Probably causing half of it.
Majority of it. But yeah, go ahead.
But this was the site you went to find out about all the bands in NorCal. Like, if you were a Los Banos kid, 15 years old, no driver's license, no permit, no friends to give you a ride, like, this is where you heard your music.
Yeah.
And so I went on there and, to my Winamp app, I downloaded their MP3s. And one of the first ones I came up with was Sacramento's Lux. And I heard they were this industrial thing. They had a chick singer, which was definitely not the norm back then.
No.
You know, it's a much more common thing now, but back then it was not the norm. They had a keyboardist who was a big fat dude with awesome dreads, and I'm jealous of him because he probably still has hair that I don't.
He's from Turlock.
Erie was from Turlock. No shit.
Two of them.
And just these guys are a tremendous example of the late 90s, early 2000s versions of industrial rock.
Yeah.
So
imagine Fear Factory with a chick singer. They were badass, and they played a lot in Northern California, and we made a point of going and seeing them wherever we could. When I lived in the Bay Area for a minute, I went and saw them in Alameda at the Club Zhang Jia. I saw them the Pound SF. You know what I mean?
State Theater in Modesto.
State Theater in Modesto. What was that, the Battle of the Bands?
No, it was just a show at State. It was them, Unknown Statue, Sunday's Dilemma, and somebody else. Makeshift Gray.
Makeshift Gray. Wasn't built on that shit too?
Maybe.
Morbius?
No,
maybe?
I feel like I remember that.
Okay. Well, let's get to it. This song is one of their best, and when you sent me the link today, I looked down at the phone and said, "Oh, I'm going to the bar. This is going to be cool." And that's what I did. I went to
You
the
were
bar.
already at the bar.
No, I came home from the bar. I went right back to the bar because I
okay.
knew this was going to be a good time. And it's way past my goddamn bedtime. But anyways,
It's also way past the birth time. 40 some odd years too late.
Right. All right, kids. Let's get to it. This is Fiend from Lux from Sacramento, California, listening to Raiding the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox on WPFR Pirate Fly Radio.
There was nothing that sounded like that back then. Nothing.
No, absolutely nothing.
Were you born
And-
between 1969 and 1979? If so, you can get $250 to spend at Taco.
Wait, hold on. They were going to give us this shit. Like, we weren't born between those dates, but somebody we know was. And they were going to give me $250 to spend at Taco Bell, and you cut them off.
I was born within those dates.
And yet you turned it off before you get $250 from Taco Bell. Mike Vanek, I thought you were coming up in the world. You are failing in life, sir.
Man, fuck you. I'll tell you what. Mike Vanek is broadcasting live from a mansion in Bristol, Virginia. And Mike Vanek is making more money now than he ever fucking made. So go eat a bag of dicks.
And you know what? I'm proud of you for all of that. But do you have $250 to spend at Taco Bell? No, you do not. Because you closed the ad before we could get $250 to spend at Taco Bell. Possibly each. You screwed us over. You are the worst wingman in history. I award you no points. And may God have mercy on your soul.
It's the funniest shit you ever said on this show. I'm fucking loving it. All right, so we got one more. And this is cool because two of these guys that are brothers now live an hour and a half away from me, and I still haven't seen them yet. Fucking what the fuck, dude? Come on up to Bristol. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is one of the best bands we ever had. And I want to say, tell me if I'm wrong, along with Differential, this band put Stockton on the map.
I'll agree with that. And I'll by the time they were making noise, they were claiming Sacramento. But there were two iterations of Isolate, and they were both really good.
Okay.
Really good. The first one
was with Nuki?
Yes, Nuki from Vile Descent. Now he's just Nuki. Horrorcore rapper, juggalo rapper, filmmaker, ambitious cat. Very talented, very ambitious cat. Kind of weird.
Somebody was asking me whatever happened to him the other day.
It was probably Casey. Like super driven cat, and he was in a band called Vile Descent when I met him. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden he just showed, hey man, I got this new band called Isolate. Come check us out in Stockton. So me and Jen, we drive up, and he's like, meet us here, and it's in his guitar player's house, and we have to give one of the band members a ride. And this little 15-year-old shy fat Asian kid gets in my car and hardly says a word, but he smokes weed with me, so that was cool. And we go watch them, and they're great. They're really good. And so we start following them around, help them get booked in Los Banos, book them in Los Banos, like, you know, get them on stuff. And they lose Nuki, who was my connection to the band, and their guitar player, Nick, who wound up taking your place as my groomsman in the wedding when you backed out on me less than a week out. He came up to me.
You're going to tell me you've never had to make a difficult decision in your whole fucking life?
Not one that difficult, but look, we won't hash that out on the air. I'll get you in post. But anyway, he says, Dave, we still want to work with you. You've always been really nice to us. Can we please still play? And I said, sure. And one of the times I went up to Stockton to watch Differential play, I walked down the way and I saw a little band called Lithic. Oh, and they were, to be blunt, unremarkable, except they had this little dude singing, and he was so good. Isolate announced they split up with Nuki. I called Isolate and was like, hey, can I try out? And they were like, well, Dave, we already got a guy. He's this kid named Stewie, little guy. He used to be in a band called Lithic. And I was like, you got the guy from Lithic? Never mind. I'm glad I didn't even try out. I'm looking forward to it. And they went from a very solid, very groove heavy, very tight rap metal band to the most violent new metal band you've ever heard in your life. Like, Stewie was just a savage. Josh is the perfect pocket drummer. Nick will tell you all day he's a 3-chord wonder, but he knows how to write a song. And Josh, a.k.a. Swedenhouse, is one of the most naturally talented musicians I've ever known in my life. No bullshit. Guy played guitar. They asked him to play bass. He played bass like guitar. So much talent, so much camaraderie. By the way, Josh, Swedenhouse as it were, is Nick and Josh's cousin. I'm sorry. I kept calling Swedenhouse Josh. It's Matt. We've been drinking. So Matt is Nick and Josh, the two brothers' cousin. So this was a family band, and it showed. And I wanted to do the opening poem for this song, but ain't no way I'm going to remember all that. But this was the last song on their Silence Kills album, which still to this day holds the record for the most attended show in Los Banos.
That was a good one.
That's why parents should eat their young, Mike Vanek.
Yeah, sometimes. I watched a cat do that shit once.
Isolate wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here it goes.
WPFR Pirate Flag Radio. This is Raiding the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox. And, bro, what a killer fucking list of legendary bands that you picked for us to listen to today. Thank you very much. What are your closing thoughts on today's list?
Well, before we move on from the band we just played, as always, there's a story. So, as we discussed, Nick Tate became a groomsman for me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he gave one. I wasn't even going to go there.
No, he's like, as I'm scrolling, he pops up.
And he had always told me, hey, man, you get an isolate tattoo, I'll pay for it. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'd never had any tattoos. And he says, hey, man, you got the Riddlebox album cover? I'm going to get that tattooed on me. And I'm like, all right, meet me at the tattoo shop. Okay. So I show up. And within 10 minutes of being there, all of a sudden I'm surrounded by the Tate brothers, their tattoo artist, Gary, and my wife. And Nick's like, hey, Dave, remember how I was told you I'll pay for your isolate tattoo? Yeah. Time's up, bitch. Get in the chair. All right, let me see the one on your arm. Hey, Gary, come here. Can you make this not suck? Yeah. Like more bladed and shit? Yeah. All right, get me in the chair, dude. I don't want to lose my nerve. And so that fateful night, I got this very tattoo on my right arm that I'm showing right now. My first tattoo is an isolate logo.
So for those of you listening to Pirate Flag Radio, jump on our YouTube channel. Great plug at the end of the show. But anyways, he hella has their logo tattooed on his arm. So I want to make a public challenge to those isolate boys that live right down the fucking road from me. Hey, man, you know, come on by. Got a barbecue and a basement full of guitars.
I like how you led with the barbecue.
Oh, I always lead with the barbecue, dog.
I got a barbecue and a basement full of guitars, but I got a barbecue.
I got a basement full of guitars, basement full of basses, and a PA fucking system that can play the drum machine.
They got Josh. Why do they need a drum machine?
I'm just saying that's how I roll. If
only Nick shows up, you got a drum machine at least.
Nah, man, they both live down there. In Knoxville.
Knoxville?
Come on up, bro. That's all I'm saying. Come on up. We'll have a shindig of a time. We can go play at the Hideaway in Johnson City. That's the fucking... It's like...
Go form an accidental one-day band with Mike Vanek.
Dude, the Hideaway in Johnson City is the Tri-Cities version of the other place.
Right on.
Cool. All right, so give me an overview of the music that we listened to tonight, what it means to you.
This spanned from my late teens to my mid-20s, man. Like, this was a lot to me. You charged me with this, and I asked you, so do I got to pick a lineup? And you were like, no, I'll get to it. And I was laying there in bed, and I was like, no, fuck that. Like, and this one came to me within 5 minutes. Like, honestly, like I got geared towards it and was like, what do I want to hear tonight? So I picked this, you know, because I knew it was a show you would appreciate. I knew it was a show my wife would appreciate. And anybody out there from the 209 to the 916 that was trooping around in 2000, anywhere from 99 to 2005.
Don't forget the 510, dog. We were out there too.
And the 510, those were the two area codes represented by the bands we played. But that's what I was going with. But either way, like, anybody from that era would appreciate this lineup. And I hope you did, you know, because I had a good time listening to it. Cool. Brought back a lot. Post-production is going to be a lot of, you remember that time, and I love you, and blah, blah, blah.
Post-production is going to be like cock on the wall, so it's about that time, because Van Dog needs to go to bed. It's
God.
In the morning. All right, so let's just get the fuck out of here, shall we? Where can people find you on social media, sir?
You can find me at Nothing But Losers on Facebook.
Tell us about your wrestling company.
I will get to my wrestling company
Well, you cut me off, so
You said tell us about you, and I went.
well, I was trying to talk, and then you jumped right into it.
You took a breath. Don't breathe. So anyway, you can find me at Nothing But Losers on Facebook, Nothing But Losers on Instagram, and Nothing But Loser. There's no S on Twitter. August 10th, 1870 Brewing Co. The night the losers come home. And we've brought fellow Mama Award winners, Beheading of the Queen, and longtime stalwarts who've been in hiding, but they're back for tonight. It's going to be Someday Sober. All at 1870 Brewing Company. $10 admission, all ages. Bring merch money because we've got 3 new shirts to sell.
Sick. So you mentioned the Mama Awards. I have 2 right there on that shelf.
Well, I didn't keep mine, Mike Vanek, because the memory of winning them is all I need.
So
But I've got 3.
This year is the 20th anniversary of the Mama Award. Who would you say are the top contenders for the Hard Rock Metal Mama this year?
Adenamia, Hellheart.
What's that one band that plays at that brewery all the time?
Adenamia?
No, the other one with the dude with the long hair and the beard.
Adenamia.
No, there's another one.
That's the one you're thinking of, the dude with long hair and the beard.
No, it's like Subtle Tension or some shit like that.
Oh, Subtle Tension. Man, it's a hard one to call because honestly, man, I'm working. Like I'm not invested in what's going on out there. If I ain't on it, I ain't there. And I don't mean that as a knock. I just have other things to do.
What are some bands that you guys have played with recently that you would recommend?
Beheading of the Queen, Someday Sober, Hellheart, Adenamia, Glitch Kill.
Hellheart. So that's Brandon Garrett's band.
Yes.
Brandon Garrett, when he was very young, dude, he owned a PA. He did sound for us at Modesto Virtual. That kid is, he's going places. He's doing it right. And
he hasn't aged a day.
No, and his dad owns the fucking appliance store downtown, which is going to be his someday. So, he's always been great, and they're fucking good. I like
They're good. Really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's get out of here. Thank you guys very much for listening to tonight's episode. Can't talk right now. Please support Pirate Flag Radio at pirateflagradio.com. Get your merch at tpublic.com. And if you'd like to donate to a nonprofit, independent, underground radio station dedicated to the artist and the listener, it's real easy. Just go to PayPal. It's pirateflagradio209 at gmail.com. All right, you got anything to close with, sir?
Keep one foot in the gutter and one fist in the gold.
Motherfucker. All right, we'll see you guys next time right here on Raiding the Vault with Vanek and Lunchbox on pirateflagradio.com.